Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A very good day to you wherever you're watching us from. It is a Friday on the 9th of September 2022. This is Smart 24, where we drive your business. And my name is Anthony Sabali, your host for financial markets. Right about now, of course, it is the time we look into the financial markets and see especially how the stock market has performed on the previous day of trading. And of course, today is a national day of mourning in the United Kingdom, where we are seeing that people are mourning the passing away of Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, our hearts go out to the citizens of the United Kingdom, and may the soul of the Queen rest in peace. Now, yesterday, I don't know if it was because of the passing of the Queen, but still we had a poor performance on the stock market. However, we still had some good companies that came out on top. And right behind me on the screen, you can see the top 4 companies. There were 4 participants in the trading, and we ended in 4 gainers and about 2 losers on the stock market yesterday. The gainers included the East African Breweries Limited, NMG, that's Nation Media Group, as well as Stanbic Bank Uganda and MTN Uganda. Those were some of the top gainers. On the losing side, we had only 2 companies that came out as losers, and that was Equity Bank Limited as well as KCB Bank. Those are both cross-listed companies from Nairobi. Generally, the average performance was not that good, as we registered a decline in the performance of the index here on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Well, we're going to look at the details of that performance just briefly during the show, and you just have to keep around and stay tuned on Smart 24 TV while we drive you into the financial markets business in Uganda, and then later on in East Africa, that is looking at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and we will also look at some of the people that actually moved the market there. A humble reminder, if you are not yet enrolled on the OTEX Exchange, OTEX East Africa is a company licensed by the Capital Markets Authority that is bringing you a chance to participate in the securities trade across East Africa with different securities such as the treasury bonds especially, and this is going to be through a USSD code. It's the first of its kind, and this is under the ZABU initiative, in which we are seeing that you can dial *292# if you are an MTN subscriber, and through dialing *292#, you will be able to access different securities across East Africa. Now, there will be options to choose, of course, depending on the category of investments you want to either buy or sell. There are 4-year bonds, 10-year bonds, 20-year bonds, and so many others across the region, which you might have to select from. And of course, you will select the amount of money. You will have to put the amount of money you're willing to be able to part with from your mobile money, that is your Momo, and that money will be transacted to the ZABU initiative, and you will be able to access the bond that you might have been able to buy. And OTEX East Africa is saying you can do something new, and these markets open at exactly 15 minutes past the hour of 8 and close at 15 minutes past the hour of 3 p.m. Yes, that is OTEX East Africa for you, and definitely one of the most technologically advanced exchanges so far that we are having in East Africa, looking to grow investments and increase accessibility to these markets. We also have USSD code for the Uganda Securities Exchange. Of course, this was during the initial public offer for MTN Uganda, when we saw the first electronic IPO, that was MTN Steel, come on board with the USSD code that you could actually use to be able to open an SCD account. Now, what is an SCD account? An SCD account is a Securities Central Depository account, which gives you a track of gives you storage for your securities. If you're buying shares, if you're buying stock, you will have to keep it on the Securities Central Depository account. And it also gives you storage for other securities. And sometimes this has become to be known as the Central Security Depository. And this usually keeps the treasury bonds and the treasury bills and other securities as well. And these accounts are now accessible for opening via online platforms or via USSD platform. That is, if you're an MTN subscriber still, you can dial *165 hash, and then you follow option number 5, that is financial services, and then you go to option number 7, that is the Uganda Securities Exchange, and then later on you will go on to of course, they will ask for your details such as your national identification number or NIN number or passport number for foreigners, and you will be able to get to open this account. And immediately you open this account, you can start trading, or you can wait a little longer. It doesn't require any initial deposit. It doesn't require a fixed deposit. It's an open account, and opening it is absolutely free of charge. And definitely you should look out for some of that stuff, definitely, if you're to get to partake into the cake of financial markets in East Africa. Thank you very much for joining us through the various platforms. We are on channel 372 on DSTV right now. We are also on channel 394 on GoTV as well. You can catch us on our YouTube live stream live, and that is on Smart24 TV live. You can hit us up on Twitter if you have any concern, if you have anything you want to get answered, if you have any comment, tweet via our Twitter handle, that is at Smart24 TV. Of course, drives your business and sees that we grow your incomes from just the basic income from your salary to becoming a multi-million investor in the different sectors in Uganda, in particular here in the financial markets. Now, as I've said already, red because the index, remember the index is what tracks the average performance of the stocks. You're looking at the stocks here in Uganda declining by over 3.54 points, and on a daily basis that was a 0.27% loss, and this closed the index at exactly 1,295.11 points. This represented a 1-week gain of about 1.34% and a 4-week loss of 1.14%. Whereas when you look at the overall loss, that is overall year-to-date loss, we are standing currently at 8.84% loss on the all-share index. For the local companies, because we have two indices, if you are following matters on the Uganda Securities Exchange, you should have seen that we have two indices, the all-share index that tracks the aggregate performance of all the listed equities, as well as the local company index, which tracks the aggregate performance of the local companies or the domestic companies. And when you look at this one, it's currently at a 0.24% increase because of the two counters which gained on the local company index, that is Stanbic Bank and MTN Uganda. It inched up by 0.24% all the way to over 2 points, making it a 1-week loss still, however, of 1.37% and a 4-week loss of 1.68% and a year-to-date loss of 17.06%. MTN Uganda, as already mentioned on the list of gainers, he came in as one of the gainers, and we are seeing that he went up by only 0.49 cents or 0.49 Ugandan shillings, and that was a 0.27% increase on the daily basis calculator. And then when we look at the current share price, it's at 180.49 Ugandan shillings. MTN as well recorded the biggest volume yesterday of over 50,550 traded shares for the trading session yesterday. And when you look at the MTN counter, prices have been quite volatile within the last few months. But comparing this performance, for example, with the beginning of the year, MTN Uganda began the year with the price of exactly about 194.99 Ugandan shillings, and it has since lost that is about 100 and something, 114 Ugandan shillings on their price, and this has ranked it. It has lost about 14 points on the Uganda Securities Exchange, and this has ranked it the 10th Uganda Securities Exchange equity on the year-to-date performance tabs. And when you look at the daily gain here, there was a approximately 0.3% gain on a daily yesterday. And when you look at this gain, MTN actually was the fifth gainer on the team yesterday for gainers. And when you look at the traded volumes, like we have already noted, the company traded the biggest volumes yesterday, which was 50,550 shares on the trading session yesterday. And currently, it is still the fourth most traded stock, coming behind the number one, which is Bank of Baroda, number two, which is Stanbic Bank Uganda, number three should be Wumeme as well. So it's coming in the fourth position within the last 3 months amongst the most active counters that are listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And this is, of course, counting from the 10th of June to the 7th of September 2022. MTN has traded within this period a total volume of 14.6 million shares, and these are valued at over 2.75 billion Ugandan shillings over the period, with an average of over 231,002 traded shares per session, and a volume high of 2.28 million, which was achieved on the 22nd of August within the same period. And so MTN, yes, is a very tradable stock there on the Uganda Securities Exchange, and you can be able to buy some stock for yourself amongst this very fresh stock. It's the youngest stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange, just listed over about 8 months ago in the month of December 2021. And so you can please explore and try to find some stock at MTN. Current price, opening price today was 180. The markets are already open because they open at exactly 9 a.m. and close at 1 p.m. And you can be able to buy yourself some of this stock because when you look at their activity compared to also their year-to-date performance, which is not very bad, they are a promising stock, and definitely you can bank on them. They are a telecommunications company, one of the biggest on the African continent, and they do really a wonderful job here in Uganda, especially when it comes to telecommunications. In terms of market capitalization, when you look at the total value of their shares, currently it stands at 4.04 trillion, and the total number of shares outstanding for that matter is 22.4 billion shares, 22.4 billion shares that are outstanding on the Uganda Securities Exchange. They're currently ranked the second most valuable because of the huge market capitalization, of course, coming only after Equity Bank Limited, which has the highest market capitalization on the exchange of over 5 trillion. And so MTN is right there at your footstep. You can get to invest in MTN by simply opening yourself an SCD account, and you will approach your stockbroker today before the close of business, and they will be able to probably purchase for you some stock there at only 180.49 Ugandan shillings. The settlement time is within 3 days, so you will be able to get your stock within 3 working days if you buy today. And the markets, of course, don't open on the weekend, so you don't count the Saturday and Sunday as well. That is the MTN Uganda stock. By the way, MTN changed recently their CEO from Mr. Wim Van Helput, who was the former CEO, and Mr. Wim saw the listing of MTN Uganda on the Uganda Stock Exchange. He has been able to achieve so many things within his tenure of office, which has lasted about 6 to 7 years so far. And now he has been appointed he was appointed actually earlier in this quarter to another bigger duty to, of course, handle MTN in the West African countries of Sierra Leone, Liberia, and so many others. Whereas now MTN Uganda has a new CEO, Miss Slivia, who is coming in from Safaricom with, of course, some experience, a very good experience within the telecommunications industry, within marketing. And so we are hoping this will be a breath of fresh air onto MTN as well to see more growth, because one of the key things that should stand out for you as an investor when you're looking out for companies is the leaders within those companies. You must look for companies with authentic leaders, with experience, and those that are able to compete on the market and see that the companies can actually add value to their shareholders through making profit, through growing and expanding, and through visionary leadership. So definitely that is something as well you should always take note of as you buy stock. Now we are going to go into a quick breather. We return, we talk about Stanbic a little bit and a couple of other gainers, look at other performers on the stock market, and we shall wind up the stock market in Uganda and cross over to Kenya. We'll be right back. Stay with us.